him on whether or not people are giving to this. So make his life good, help out your brother, and give to the Bulldog, to the Touchdown Club. And but Frank and I, with some help from some others on campus, have just finished raising $2.5 million to make some renovations to the stadium. So I want to take you through them real quickly. So one of the things I'm incredibly proud of, and I hope you share in this, the name here, it says underneath Drake Stadium, Ron Olson Plaza. Ron Olson played football at Drake, and he has given us a very significant gift to redo this video board. So this is a brand new, full, digital, all this stuff, whatever the details are in terms of, it'll be way cool, that's all I know. State of the art. New scoreboard, so you don't have to look at that little teeny screen anymore. So it's going to be nice. We're doing that scoreboard, redoing the field itself. So that's going to be brand new. The scoreboard will go in December, January, and this will go in next May. And then we're also redoing the track, redoing all the signage and what have you, and redoing the Jim Duncan track. So brand new track. The track that goes in will be the same that's going in the Olympics in 2016. So again, state of the art. Everything that we're doing is at the very highest level. That field is the same field that goes in at BCS level football program. So we're not doing anything halfway, we're doing it all the way. It's going to be scaled appropriately for Drake. Okay, this is a really cool thing that's happening here, and you guys are going to be excited about this. This idea came from Rick Fox, our head football coach. And there's one thing that ties together from the 1949 class to the current 2015 class. And all of our football players, there's one thing that ties together every football player that's played here, and that you've run outside, you run out that tunnel right there. So Rick Fox had an awesome idea, and thanks to Ron Olson, we now have the funding to redo that tunnel, and the name of every guy who's ever played football at Drake University for 123 years this year is going to have their name inside that tunnel. So you can bring your kids, you can bring your grandkids, you can bring your great-grandkids and walk down that tunnel, and they can go through and pick you out in the year that you played football at Drake University. So very, very happy about that. Now what I'd like to do is introduce to you somebody you all know extremely well. Paul Morrison's parents met on this campus in 1902. Abby, his granddaughter, graduated here when, Holly? 13, 12, 2012 or so, 2010. That was the 14th from that lineage to graduate from Drake University. Paul has been employed by Drake University for 69 years. 69 years. He celebrated his 98th birthday on July 25th this year. Paul retired from Drake in 1986. He's kind of become a slacker because he doesn't work on Fridays anymore. But he does work Monday through Thursday, from about 8 to about 4:30 every day. And just this past year, he started slacking a little bit and taking a 3-day weekend. But we're not cutting his pay. I want to tell you guys something that's really incredible. This guy did not miss a football game that you played. He did not miss a football game that you played. Help me stand up, give him an amazing round of applause, because this weekend it is his 700th football game. My dear friend and amazing colleague, Mr. Drake Paul Morrison.
tell some people you can go to hell for lying as well as stealing. So, but thanks for that nice introduction. They asked me to prepare a brief history of Drake football, and I'm glad to do so because I have been a part of Drake football for many years. As noted, Saturday's game will be my 700th Drake football game since I was a freshman in 1935. Those are not consecutive games, but since 1946, I have probably missed only 3 or 4 games. I'm glad that since I have retired in 1986, I'm still involved with Drake football. And bear with me while I mumble around here. So, although we played a few games earlier, a long ago professor of history at Drake settled on 1893 as the start of intercollegiate football for the Bulldogs. We have fielded teams ever since then, including schedules in both World War I and World War II, when quite a few schools dropped football for several years. So we have a rich history of consecutive seasons of football. Some ups and downs like all other teams, of course. Drake ranks 20th in victories among the 123 schools which play in the NCAA Division I football championship subdivision. We have won several championships in the Missouri Valley Conference and have picked up several more titles since the Pioneer Football League was formed. We were undefeated in 1922 when Ossie Solom, who later coached at Iowa, was our coach. Les Murray's was 8-2 in 1962, the same record that Jack Wallace had 4 years later. Chuck Shelton came along with a 10-1 record in 1981. Rob Ashe completed his 18-year career as coach with records of 10-2 in 2004 and 9-2 in 2006. Earlier, our 1898 team declared itself champions of the Midwest after a 4-2 season that included victories over Nebraska and Omaha, with those 2 losses by only a total of 3 points. The significance of that season was that it was the start of our football banquet. Channing Smith was captain of the 1898 team, gathered his 2 mates in his room for a few goodies from Dogtown merchants, and the Channing Smith tradition has been continuous. Our awards are presented at that time, and our seniors pass the torch symbolically to juniors as part of the tradition of Drake football. Drake stresses academics, as we all know, and we are proud that we have had 7 academic All-Americans as selected by the College Sports Information Directors of America. Also, some 80 Pioneer Football League All-Academic choices and 14 regular All-Americans at various selections. Some other historical tidbits. Drake was the first Iowa team to play in a bowl game, beating Fresno State in the Raisin Bowl January 1st of 1946. We also beat Arizona in the 1949 Salad Bowl, which is now the Fiesta Bowl. In all, we have played in 5 bowl games. Drake is considered the birthplace of modern night football. We installed lights for the 1928 season. Interestingly, the manager of the local professional baseball team saw the advantage of nighttime competition, and so Des Moines is also considered the birthplace of night baseball. Incidentally, the Bulldogs played the first night football game in Soldier Field in Chicago in 1930. One can't discuss Drake football without including Johnny Bright. Adjudged the outstanding Bulldog of all time, Bright was the NCAA total offense champion in 1949 and again in 1950. In 1951, Bright and the Bulldogs headed to Stillwater, Oklahoma to play for the conference championship against the Aggies. On the very first play of the game, Bright was deliberately slugged and his jaw broken. He actually threw a touchdown pass a couple of plays later before he left the game. The photos of the incident, taken by the Des Moines Register cameramen, who were nationally renowned and won a Pulitzer Prize for them. Because Oklahoma A&M did not apologize for the incident and the Missouri Valley Conference took no action, Drake dropped out of the conference for several years. Bradley University dropped out in sympathy for us. Bright was 5th in the Heisman voting that fall. Probably would have been voted higher if the incident hadn't occurred. He's the only Drake player to be in the National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame. Two good things resulted in that incident. Protection on helmets was increased and the blocking rules were tightened. Bright, as you may remember, went on to a great career with 11 seasons of football and Canadian football, where he became a legend and also a highly regarded as a school administrator. He died in 1983. Our stadium football field was renamed in his honor in 2006. The best and most sincere testimony I can present for what a great university is that I have a granddaughter who graduated several years ago. Her great-grandparents, as mentioned earlier, met as Drake in Franklin in 1902. She is smart enough that she could have attended any school she wanted, and her parents could have sent her there. But she said, no, I want to go to Drake. And when she graduated, it was noted 14th member of the Morrison tribe to have a Drake degree. That total is now 15 since she married a former Drake trackie. Thanks to you, and go Bulldogs. Thank you.